the types of licenses, the
Yeah,
free
yeah,
zones
yeah.
and the
Let's talk about that.
yeah.
Yeah. So, trade license is a license which a government authority gives you
Yeah.
to do licenses. Now,
Okay.
it comes into categories. If you want to have a hospital, you have a different trade license. You want to go into a service industry, you have a service license, trading license, and all trading license, and journal trading licenses. So you have those hundreds of categories if you want, and these are specialized categories. So, go into computer and laptops, they give you computer and principal aligned licenses. You have a mainland license and offline licenses, free zone licenses.
Right.
The free zone licenses previously had this 3 years visa,
Okay.
which was finished. So they are actually giving 2 years license. So let's suppose if you want to form a company in Dubai, let's suppose a computer business, you have to get a trade license. Now, I would recommend, coming from my experiences, because I've done a lot of bad mistakes I didn't knew, and so I learned from it. I want to tell you, always get a trade license from the mainland in Dubai. So you have this government of Dubai's offices where you can just go and apply. They have this offer, until you finish your Dubai cafe, finish your coffee, they'll give you a instant license.
Yes.
And for instant license would cost you like 12,000 dirhams a year. But the good part about it, you don't have to have an office for first year. So second year you would need an office. But I always recommend, get a add 2,000 more and get a license and open an office. I've seen people who've got a license but they have difficulty opening a bank account now. So always confirm with your banks what kind of business you do before getting into buying a license.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That is a mistake I've done, and we suffered a year for this, right? But always consult your bank before opening a trade license. It has to be aligned. Coming from anywhere, India or Pakistan, to opening a bank account too is very mandatory part of it. You have to have, so let's suppose if you bring cash, you should have a rationale or some sort of a
Proof.
backup proof, because Dubai is very rigid on compliances and anti-money laundering compliances.
Right.
With that. So if you have a bank account, let's say in India and Pakistan, you should have a 6 months bank statement. If you're a business, you should have a business number and company profile and a business bank account with 6 months history.
Right.
To prove that you had that money or you had that business.
Right.
To make it a profile. Banks, you can open personal accounts easily through an app here, but for business accounts it's getting difficult because with compliances and everything goes up. I think Mashreq new account and
I think Vio Bank also has started offering the
yeah. There are a lot of banks which are business friendly. Mashreq, I recommend, no sponsorships, but Mashreq Neo is doing some good work. Fab is doing some good work. So there are 2-3 banks which are very active in helping businesses. Again, always talk to banks
before going
to the trade license.
Okay.
So you have this multiple trade licenses which you can choose from. Then for the visas, right?
Before like licenses, okay. What about the free zone and the mainland license? What are the main differences between these two kind of licenses?
With free zone license, you have to keep your company inside the free zone areas.
All the activities
We
should
need
be
to understand what free zone is. Free zone is, of course, areas which is not technically not part of mainland UAE, but are free zones for where you can import and export. Anything you bring out from free zone, you have to give a VAT and a custom fee.
Okay.
So let's suppose you import a computer into free zone company and bring back, if a computer is $100, you have to pay 5 plus 6%. So 6% to get it out.
Okay.
To mainland.
So in case someone is doing trading, then and they establish their business in free zone, and they just rotate the inventory within, let's say somebody is getting laptops from US.
So I'll give you a real life example, right? So you bring stock from US into a free zone.
Right.
There are companies which stock you. You don't have to have a warehouse there. You can stock those equipments, right? You get an order from Nigeria or for 100 laptops. You just from a click of a button, DHL goes into that free zone and exports that from the free zone.
Right.
Let's suppose you've got an order inside Dubai.
Right.
No problems. You have to bring those laptops outside. To bringing that outside would cost you 6%. This is how.
This is not VAT. This is
5% VAT and 1% custom duty on hardware.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how it works.
Okay. So if you're selling that across mainland UAE, then you have to pay 6%, let's say, tax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're just trading, then you don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do.
Okay.
Anything which is import to export is generally VAT free. Anything which is import to obviously to be sold here in the market is VAT is applied.
And what about services? If that is the case,
services are VAT. VAT is applied on services.
Okay, if you're having
and to register the rules for registering VAT, I think I'm not an expert on it. I know you just pay around 200-300-400 dirhams to register VAT. There are companies who would do it, and you have to file VAT every quarter. You get VAT returns as well. The rule generally is if you do, and I think anything above 350,000 dirhams a year, you are eligible for VAT. Right, in UAE.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So okay, this is good that if somebody need to know, and what is the cost difference? Any idea about cost difference between the free zone and the mainland license?
So yes, that's a very good question. The cost, I think the cost for free zone comes out to be more for the first year. The free zone would be cheaper, but for the second, third years would be more expensive. So I wouldn't prefer opening a free zone company as opposed to mainland, because you're here in Dubai, you want to do business, you can always export anything, but just open with a mainland company. You get more visa provisions. So let's suppose you have an office, you can expand your businesses. You can do that there, but be more difficult as opposed to
you're right. Because I interact with people who are mostly working online, and they don't have any immediate requirement to sell their services within the UAE, because there are a lot of people who are coming into UAE and setting up their own businesses, and just for the bank accounts and stuff. For those people, sometimes free zone makes sense, because they don't have to sell their services within the UAE. But later on, if their business expand, then they can.
Even for those people who are coming out, they can apply for a freelance visa.
Freelance visa. Yeah.
For that, they don't have to open a company.
Yes.
They can just open get a freelance visa. Now the visa cost, we need to understand. It costs for one person around 6,500 to 7,500 dirhams for the cost of visa. Then you have to apply insurance and everything. So we need to keep in mind the numbers. About 7,000 to 8,000 dirhams is the cost of visa.
Right. Okay.